the Golden Globes decided to take a more diverse approach in presenting this year's awards because they were under a lot of fire. The Hollywood Foreign Press Agency, this is the group behind the Golden Globe Awards, they have been under fire for the past couple of years because of the lack of diversity, whether it's from their internal leadership, or into the awards, or as it relates to representation. And so yesterday's show was hosted by a Black person, was executive produced by a Black person, and as we saw, the big winners from last night was really a highlight of Black artistry and Black excellence. And I want to bring in Suzette Speaks as we talk about this night last night, Golden Globes. All right, first and foremost, let me just I gotta deal with this situation because I want to get past this because there were some great moments in last night's Golden Globes. One of my favorite actresses, Auntie, I'm calling her Auntie Angela. I don't care what nobody said. Angela Bassett is aunt status at this point in my life. I love some Angela Bassett.
Beautiful.
I love some Angela Bassett, y'all. Look at this. That's Aunt Angela right there, y'all.
Looking like a statue. Right. Let's go.
Let me tell you something. Aunt Angela is killing on the small screen and the big screen. I am a huge fan of her show 911 on Fox. Huge fan. I love the show. She's an executive producer of the show. Her and Uncle Courtney Vance, they have a phenomenal film production company, the Bassett Vance Productions. Love what they're doing to try to change the conversation around a lot of topics around women and history. And of course, she's still killing it on the big screen. Now, not a lot of actresses and actors can make the transition the way she's made it. Yeah. But y'all see her on the small screen. I saw her in American Horror Story too. Have you ever seen that? You ever watched that?
I have. She's great. Ooh.
She was great in that. But then, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Everybody should have seen it. Everybody should have seen it by now.
Let's go.
Well, Winston Duke, who plays, what's the character that he plays? M'Baku, right. He said,
I love
he said this jokingly when he was on Good Morning America. He said he got tired of the standing ovations that the crew were giving Angela Bassett when she had that great scene. Have I not lost everything? Y'all know that
I love some Angela Bassett. My gosh. Let
me tell you, because they kept, they had to kind of, keep filming it a couple of times. And he said every time they filmed it and she brought it, they gave her the whole crew had to stop their job and just gave her a standing ovation. He said he got tired of the standing ovations. I said, oh man. But he said, of course, obviously she's great. So she won last night. The sister Quinta Bronson, who created the show Abbott Elementary, they're still on their awards run. They won last night. The young brother Tyler James, played for Best Supporting Actor. Aunt Angela, she got hers for Best Supporting Actor. There we go. That's Quinta in the purple and black. She's the creator. She's having a big year. Tyler James from Everybody Hates Chris to now Abbott Elementary, Best Supporting Actor. Zendaya won for her award for the phenomenal show on HBO. I love that show. The show is so good, it's too real to watch.
I know, right?
When she plays a young drug addict.
Yep. Shout out to Zendaya.
Euphoria.
Mm-hmm. Euphoria.
So it's the Euphoria, phenomenal cast. The whole cast is phenomenal. And then Eddie Murphy got the Cecil B. DeMille Award, Lifetime Achievement Award for his 46 years of being. He said he's been doing movies for 41 years.
That's crazy. And well deserved, even though he was cutting up during the speech. It was really good. Right.
Eddie
Murphy, well deserved.
So we saw some of these big moments, but here's the problem I had.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it was overshadowed by Jerrod Carmichael, the host.
Some people might want their money back. I don't know. I love him as a person. It was intense. And again, I watched some of it. I had my own YouTube show on at the same time, mind you, doing a show myself. So I watched a lot of clips. And of course, I went to Twitter and wanted to see what people had to say. He's a comedian. So, and he's like a satirical comedian. So he makes you feel like really uncomfortable bringing up some truth. And I do think he had a difficult job. And I mean it facetiously when I say they want their money back, but he was over like stepping over some boundaries and crossing some lines, as comedians do when it comes to discussing the problem that the Hollywood Foreign Press had initially, which was up until George Floyd, they hadn't had a Black member for 20 years. And this was a real issue in terms of their lack of diversity, so much so that, NBC said, no, we're not carrying it. So this was a return of the show. It was not aired live. I also want to shout out MJ Rodriguez, who also won when the show was not being broadcast. The Best Dramatic Actress, Best Actress in a Drama for Pose. Yep. She won last year, first transgender woman to win that. But yeah, he definitely pushed the envelope, and it was uncomfortable. And he kind of put it out there, right at the beginning, that why am I hosting this? Because I'm Black, and I have to speak on behalf of an embattled, predominantly white organization that has had, issues with diversity and other issues with their leadership. So I think he had a tough job. I will say, again, his style of comedy might be a little bit too much for this setting. I mean, it's a party. It's supposed to be Hollywood's fun and kind of flamboyant and exciting kind of house party kind of vibe. Right. And so there was a lot of joy in the room, as you spoke about, with all these wonderful, beautiful, melanated winners. But yeah, a lot of people are still talking about him and clipping up a lot of his comedy, which again was very edgy and left you kind of feeling uncomfortable in your chair. Like, okay, did you have to say that? Did you have to go there?
Look. I'm gonna use a term because I'm not joking about this. I think it was a lot of cooning.
You think so?
Yeah. A lot of coonery.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't watch it fully for context.
It's like an 8-minute monologue. Of course, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Here's why. As a host, and you and I both, Suzette, we hosted events, right? So we get it. When somebody approaches you to do an event, to host an event, you do your analysis, I do my analysis, and say, okay, is this an organization that I want to kind of help promote, advocate for, stand up in front of and host for? So if the organization or the company that requests your hosting services doesn't fall in line with your values, would you host the event?
No, not me personally, but they've made some changes. They've tried to change a few things.
This is why. So we wouldn't host an event. If I don't believe in what you're doing, why would I host your event? If I don't agree with what you're doing, why would I host the event, right? I'm not going to take the money only to blaze you, to roast you at the event that you asked me to be a professional for. See, that's the part about it. I mean, he went through this whole diatribe about, a friend of his who is executive producer of the Golden Globes, called him and said it would be an honor for you to host this event. And he said he was in conflict. He was in conflict because he knew about the history of the Hollywood Foreign Press Agency. But then when they told him about the $500,000 he would get to host the event, his homegirl Avery said, boy, you better go host that event. Now, here's the thing. Boy. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you can't profess a principled stance with your mouth and then your action shows weakness. I don't care how much they offer you. If you say that they don't fall in line with your values, why even pimp yourself? Why be a prostitute for $1?
Well,
that's what I'm saying. Like if Trump said, "Hey, I'll give you $1 million to send out a tweet saying that you support me." Now we can all say, "Oh no, Trump! I couldn't do that for Trump." Trump said, "I'll give you $1 million to say that you're going to support me, and that you should tell your Black friends to support me." Would you send a tweet? Now this is just a tweet. This ain't asking you to be on the campaign trail. Would you send a tweet? Some of us would.
So I'm about to say a lot of people gonna say yes.
I know a lot of people would. But I'm saying at this point,
yeah,
we can't look. If we want to, this is what makes the difference between the heroes and sheroes of our past versus us now. People say, well, what about, when we always talk about Martin and Malcolm and everything, but the reason that make them great is because these were principled men and women.
Absolutely.
Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, Dr. King, they never did something that they didn't believe in.
Mm-hmm.
When Dr. King opposed the Vietnam War, when he started his campaign to oppose the Vietnam War 1 year before he was assassinated, there was even talk of taking away his Nobel Peace Prize as a result of his opposition to the war. Did that stop him? No, it did not. Because that's the principle. I'm tired of black folks always acting like you doing something revolutionary or you doing something pro-black. But then when the dollar sign comes into the conversation, you take the dollar, you weaken your stance, and then you go on TV and you try to blast the very people that's feeding you. Either you shut up and take the money, right? He said that he neglected the meeting with the Hollywood Foreign Press's president to talk about diversity. You do all this stuff, and all they did was just raise the value to buy you off. Your ass still showed up. You talk bad about them, and most likely you won't probably get no type of hosting gigs because that's all over the world, right? You probably won't get no gig. You did yourself a disservice, and you know who else you did a disservice to? To those black artists who work. Aunt Angela hadn't gotten a Golden Globe in like 30 years.
Yeah, since What's Love got to do with it? Absolutely, yeah.
So you take away from the brilliance, the excellence of the artistry, and the excellence with your coonery claim, and then you talking about, well, I took the $500,000. Like the people, the community ain't getting that. That's for your self-interest, bro. That's not for us. That's not for the culture. That's for you. So you can't be like, yeah, I'm pro-black. Yeah, man, I took their money. I took that white folks' money. And then, bro, that's not, no, principle should be principle all the way through. If you're going to ride with them, you might as well just ride with them. There is no gain in you talking big black stuff only for you to take their money, be bought off, then go into their platform, into their space, talk bad about them. Look, and you know, if you look at the moments, he said so much uncomfortable stuff, so much edgy stuff, as you said, Suzette. He said, we're in the same, it was at the Beverly Hills Hilton Hotel. He said, we're in the same hotel that killed Whitney Houston.
That was cringy. I was like, oh, I could just hear the gasps.
Bro, see
funny,
what I'm saying? Like,
funny,
if you putting out comedy like this, that means you're really not thinking about black culture, black artistry. How you gonna say that Whitney Houston is our icon, bro? So we got a whole movie about the sister. We still miss our sister Whitney. And you gonna make a joke about that? Nah, bro, you a coon for that. That's a bunch of coonery. That's a bunch of coonery. You can't be like, man, that's pro-black. Man, I would have done it. My ass wouldn't have done it. Unless I had a conversation with the president, unless I know for sure, look, y'all gonna make some changes, y'all gonna do something. But man, shut up with all that stuff, man, because you still bought and paid for.
I can understand your point of view.
Dude screwed over the culture with that one. He screwed over the culture with that one.
I lack the context of watching it like live or from start to finish, and I kind of I'm listening and trying to kind of contextualize what he thought he might have been doing. I cannot speak for this gentleman. I'm just always trying to think where his point of view may come in. If he thinks he was doing something in protest by kind of being so direct with the call outs and being so in your face with the past issues of the Hollywood Foreign Press, I can kind of see him trying to justify. I took this,
coonery, man.
But I again trying to play devil's advocate and see where he might be in his thought process. I can't speak for him, but he'd have to explain why he thought perhaps maybe he was still making a statement I don't know, but
and see what I'm saying? Like, you make black folks in the room feel all uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you got great black artists, not only Aunt Angela and brother Courtney Vance, but you had like Eddie Murphy. I mean, just look at the list of who was in the room, man.
Yeah.
These are artists, man. Look, and I'm starting to see this in Black Hollywood. These Black Hollywood artists, the ones that we love and admire, they're starting to see more and more their significance and their power and influence in pushing Black artistry and culture, right? If you talk to Aunt Angela, she understands that she is pushing it. If you talk to Viola Davis, who was in the room, they're trying to push it. Then you got this young black man making jokes like this. When these women in particular are trying to put out content to go against the grain, talking about representation, bro, you terrible for the culture. And
wrong place, wrong time
for black folks, because that is not black culture. There's a way you can get that point across without being so edgy, yet you're so edgy, you're disrespectful to black and white. How do you walk both lines, Suzette? How you edgy against black and white?
Yeah, like I said, I saw the best of moments, and the comedy was definitely, extreme in terms of, what he was trying to convey. And then again, people will say he's a comedian. He was paid, to make jokes.
Chappelle wouldn't have done it like that.
I know, and again, it's his style. He has a very satirical, in your face style that can make you squirm, like in terms of the truth behind some of it. However, I hear what you're saying in terms of wrong place, wrong time, in terms of what he was maybe trying to do, which was to kind of let them know, yeah, you paid me, but I'm still going to call you out, and I'm still going to reflect on from the stage, how you became, why I'm really here is because, you became interested in me because you needed a black person, and he was very in your face. So yeah, it's a different style of comedy, but I can hear what you're saying, and I validate, your point of view. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to go back and watch more. I really want to watch it now to see what it all, I saw those clips that were very uncomfortable, and some would call them even up to distasteful. So I can't wait to kind of review this myself.
We've been down this road before where people think that they can get into these spaces, right? And try to act as if they're doing something for the culture. But you wind up becoming so fiery and so disrespectful, you burn yourself up.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, to the people that were in the room. Now, we can say what we want to say about Hollywood. We know Hollywood is Hollywood, right? But you really do have great black artists in Hollywood. We can't take away from
their moments,
that talent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So why would you even set the tone where, you want to talk about the Hollywood foreign press? Because to an Angela Bassett, she took her moment. If y'all look at her speech, she took her moment.
Go watch it, y'all. Watch it.
She talked about Chadwick. She talked about the moment of having look. The thing that made her award historic was the fact that she was the first person to get an award from the Golden Globes for a Marvel film.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Like, because everybody knows MCU is huge. That universe is huge. Yeah. She's the first person to get an award for an action comic.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah, and to look
at
her,
that's how powerful her role and that's how powerful her work is. Why would you? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, looking at her body of work, it's well deserved. She didn't get the Oscar. I'll just say it out loud for What Love's Got to Do with It. Probably deserved that one as well. So yeah, to kind of rob the beauty of the moment for so many that we're overdue. Now that the Hollywood foreign press has woken up to, oh yeah, there are black people out here too who are super talented and deserve recognition and have been overlooked for too long. Some of that did get lost in kind of this huge kerfuffle, which is this gentleman kind of using his, I guess, style in a way that may not have been as appropriate as it needed it to be, so that they were not we're not talking about the real winners of the night. And the folks that deserve to be talked about. Shout out to Quinta Brunson. Shout out to Angela Bassett, Zen
Aunt Angela,
Auntie Angela, my fave. They're Tyler James Williams. All these folks that. Shout out to Rihanna. I didn't mention her that she was nominated as well for her song for Black Panther and was in the house. And so many celebs. When they got on the stage, they took time, was like, Niecy Nash acknowledged her and so did Billy Porter, and just to see her out after the baby, that kind of thing. And there was just some beautiful moments. So I don't want us to get lost. Go back, guys, and watch some highlights of some of these other moments, because there were several important milestones that we saw that we needed in this community that were just overdue. So yes, I do agree with you that we're talking about him instead of talking about some of the beauty of what happened last night.
Absolutely. We got a poll running right now on our YouTube chat. We're asking folks, do you approve of Jerrod Carmichael's performance as the host of the Golden Globe? So far, 40% of people say yes, they approve. 60% said no, they do not approve.
Wow. Yeah, I think again, discretion is key. Like this
I know. Let me tell you. You see, Zach, you know it, and I know. We're in the space of media. We understand, right? If you're going to stand, as a Black person, and you're going to stand before Black people, and you're going to represent on the behalf of Black people, your representation has to be on point.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
And it was like, his representation was tone deaf.
Yeah. I think also, Faraja, you bringing up that makes me think about sometimes that generational divide where, Mr. Carmichael, I believe is right, 35. There are some of the younger generation that do believe that they're not responsible for group representation. That they think, when they go out on the street, unlike so many of us who were kind of taught, you represent everybody, and that's the burden that we carry sometimes into the workplace and other places and in public spaces in general, that, you are a representation of the race for many. And maybe he has this kind of approach where, again, he's just being, quote, himself or representing his own personal views. But unfortunately, like you and I know, people don't see it like that. People see that Black man in that Black body and attribute it to, the rest of us. So I definitely agree with you that it's bigger than him, and he is representative of more than himself. But there is sometimes I hear, within, younger circles that they're like, why do I have to be a representation of everybody? I'm just me. So just throwing that out there.
Well, so, and then I'm glad you brought that up. And here's why it's important for us to have conversations like this. It's even more important for us to understand our history, especially in any space. But since we're talking about arts and entertainment, why? Because you are a part of a link in the chain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Check this out, y'all. The Golden Globes never had a Black host.
It may never have another one. No, I'm not going to say that.
Let's look at the context of this. The Golden Globes never had a Black host. Now, look, you already know what, if the executive producer, and I really would love to hear what his friend, the executive producer.
I want to know what the white folks saying. I really do. I do.
I kind of want to know, but I want to know the person who recommended him.
Oh, Lord.
Y'all ever had a friend y'all recommend for anything, right? For a job, for opportunity, and they F up the opportunity.
Show they behind, and then you look
behind. They show how they from around the way.
Yes, you're like, actually, I would never.
And then you like, but guess what? If it's a reflection on you.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, I'm wondering
if I recommended my homeboy, my guy, to be host of a situation, and you came out the way you came out, like Jerrod Carmichael did, I will be blowing your phone up the minute you got off stage, bro. What the was that?
I know, right? Yeah, in these spaces, we could be. I don't know. We have to be very conscious of, again, what platform we're being given. I don't know if he understood the gravity of what it meant to be the first host after like a suspended show or a show that wasn't being aired because of issues.
First host after suspended show. And come on, Suzette.
And then the first black host. And then it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know. So I don't know. I haven't read a lot of what mainstream media was saying about him. Definitely saw Black Twitter lighten up last night.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing that really got to me. The president, and look, again, this is where you got to have some sense of political consciousness. If the president of the organization say, look, I want to sit down with you. I want to talk about how we plan to move forward from all of the issues of diversity. Let's sit down. Let me bring you into the room. We always talking about being at the table, being in the room, right? So then when the invitation is extended for us to be in the room, and then we shoot down the invitation, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't even know that you could have played a role. And I'm not saying that we don't know the motivations of the Hollywood Foreign Press. We don't know if they were going to actually implement it. But the point is that if you have an opportunity to be in the room, then you could play a role in shaping. Here's how you gain power. You can be in the room in shaping what the next 10 years of the Hollywood Foreign Press's activities are. Right? Here's how you can gain power. They can bring you into the room and say, you know what? We like your ideas. We want you to be the host. Like for the Oscars, Chris Rock is the ongoing host of the Oscars.
Yeah.
They could, you know what I'm saying?
He definitely missed an opportunity there.
You just want to have that lightning bolt effect. You want to get that viral moment, but you're not thinking a long game, bro. You could be the door by which they get more black faces into the room. But you're not thinking a long game. You're thinking a viral game. You're thinking small. You're not thinking big. And that's the damn problem when you don't know your history. That's the problem when you don't understand your role. That's the problem when you don't see yourself as a link in the chain. You're not thinking long. You're thinking short and self. That's it. That's it. So you got the 500,000. We talking about you today, but guess what? Are you really good for the culture? And guess, no, we're just talking. Because next week we're going to have something else. You know what I mean? But you dropped the ball in the long game, Jerrod. And I don't care if he sees this or not. I mean, we can check him on whatever the case may be. But I'm just simply tired. And I hope people don't think this is revolutionary. Man, he blazed them. So what you talk bad about white people? They still run stuff. They still got power. Your little voice ain't going to do nothing. Because if they can buy you out for $500,000, they can shut you up for $750,000.
Well said. I'm gonna just let that ride because, like I said, he would have to come and defend himself at this point. I don't have no.
I mean, he can come on the show. Look, I'll have no problem, and I'll say this to that man's face, like, bro, that was coonery, and he can make jokes about me all that he wants to. Guess what, bro? Guess what? I've done this before. I wouldn't have gone if I didn't believe in a mission. If I wasn't serious about making sure that there was some institutional change, then I wouldn't have gotten involved. I don't care how much money it is. Again, that's going back to principles.
Right.
You're not buying me out, son. You're not going to just buy my soul. You look crazy. Man, they doing all this blacksmith. Blah, 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 blah. Here's 500,000. Okay.
Jerrod Carmichael, you got 24 hours to respond to
Cool. 500,000. And then you get on stage and you look like a damn idiot. All right, look. Let me check in with my peoples, man. Janelle, you said Carmichael didn't coon. He is an irreverent comic, not a revolutionary. He stepped all on their toes. Roasting is a part of the assignment. Everyone black ain't our banner to wave.
Okay.
That's true.
Thank you, Janelle.
That's true.
Yeah.
But what's the point of roasting people? You know what I'm saying? Like, I personally, I don't get the point of roasting people in that space.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch his comedy. I've listened to a couple interviews with him telling his story. I know he has had an HBO special, so I'm not sure if those folks knew what they were getting. when they hired him, if they were like, you know, if I go back and look at his body of work and it's like, okay, you kind of should have expected this is what he was going to be on. I don't know. I don't have enough knowledge of his kind of, you know.
Probably because of his black friend who was executive producing the show was like, no, I got a guy for you. Man.
Again, we need those mentors. We need those door openers that can do those things. But I would have to say the brother.
I'm telling you, his friend blew up his phone. Was like, yo, never again, dog. Never again.
Went from I got the guy to like
I got the guy to next thing you know, you can't even speak in a room now. They'd be like, aren't you
Don't
the guy?
Me, bro. Don't call me.
Aren't you the guy that recommended Jerrod Carmichael? Yeah, and you'd be like, no, that wasn't me.
Yeah, no, he definitely left us with quite the impression. And again, I don't know if again Hollywood appreciates this or not. That's what I'm saying. Like the establishment, you say white folk, but I really mean like the Hollywood, like, you know, establishment. What did they think? Like, I don't know. I'm wondering if they thought it was funny and irreverent, and if they thought it was appropriate for the time and place. I'm not sure, but I just saw what Black Twitter was not having it.
Let me tell you, Lana, you checked in my sister. You said, bro, you have shut the door. He need to come on the show for Ron.
That's what I'm.
Let him come. Black Twitter gonna light his arse up. If he come, it better be to apologize. I see Janelle's point.
Yeah, I can't say nothing else on his behalf. He got to come defend himself at this point.
Look, I don't. You know what? Because I saw mixed reviews. I saw some black folks really like praising him. Like, oh man, he did the thing. Blah blah blah. Like, that's not revolutionary, bro. That's not good. That's not pushing the culture. We gotta make a decision. If we're not going to do the awards thing, then we're not going to do the awards thing. If we are going to do the awards thing, then we are going to do the awards thing. But we got to remember, there are still black artists out there that have dedicated their lives to arts and entertainment in this present structure. So if we decide not to do the awards thing, then we should have those folks at the table, because we don't want to crap on the time that they spent to perfecting their craft, the achievements that they have made. What you going to tell to Viola Davis, Aunt Angela, Eddie Murphy, Rihanna? They have dedicated their lives to arts and entertainment, particularly black arts and entertainment. So what are we saying to them? That because Hollywood is so effed up that they shouldn't do their work? No. We need them in those spaces. So it doesn't make sense. Like, you know, we back and forth. You look like you were schizophrenic, like you wanted to be there but didn't want to be there. And that's not good for the culture. The culture requires you to make a damn decision. Either you're going to be all in or you're going to be all out. Otherwise, get your ass off the stage.
Black Star Network is here.
Oh, no punch!
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?